Hello, my name's Don Strange. I'm at the City of Highland Village Public Works Department, where I manage both the streets and code enforcement divisions. I'm going to start off a little bit sharing about myself. I've been in public works for over 35 years, spent 24 of those years in pavement maintenance and management at the cities of Carrollton and Colleyville. I spent 11 years doing code enforcement at the City of Louisville. Don't ask me why I did that to myself, but I did. Back in the day, I took advantage of, there were a few training opportunities available for pavement management. One of them was the TEACS 160-hour road maintenance certification program. It got canceled somewhere in the early 2000s, and to my knowledge, is no longer offered. So after my fourth attempt at following a script and using fancy words that none of us really use, and ending up with a 20-plus minute video that even I didn't want to sit through, I thought to myself, why not just talk about my experience? Talk about why I saw a need for a pavement management degree and how the degree came about. Just sharing a little bit about my actual experience. And for the record, I'm not paid by Front Range. When I went to school at Front Range, I paid full tuition. I got no break. So I'm not doing this to benefit Front Range. I'm doing it to benefit the industry. It's good quality education, and it's affordable. All of us, we know that, the challenges that public works face today with all the changes in technology, regulatory requirements, MS4 permits, railroad quiet zones, the list goes on and on. There's definitely a need for credentialed, well-trained professionals. That's not to say most of us actually do have well-trained, highly motivated individuals on our staff. They're just not credentialed. So, I've always thought there's a need for a degree, but there just never has been one. If you think about, in the state of Texas, there's about 680,000 total lane miles of paved roads. And then within the state, there's 240 plus counties. They all have their projects and maintenance costs. And then within those counties, you got like 1,200 or so municipalities and towns. They all have their own projects and pavement that they manage. Right now, if you go to TxDOT's project tracker website, there's over 15,000 pavement construction projects in various stages of planning all the way up to construction. So if you factor all that in and think about it, in no other industry would you have a situation where there were no credentialed professionals managing these assets. In the water department, you're going to have, people with water license and sewer license. In community development, code officers are licensed through the state of Texas. Building officials, and even building inspectors are licensed through the International Code Council. So, pavement, which is the most expensive asset a municipality has, doesn't even have a credentialed, degreed people managing those assets. It's really kind of amazing if you think about it. The most expensive asset, there's not a credentialed manager degree, until now. If you go look at like TML's job sites, there's other ones. Generally, if you find a public works manager job, a director of public works, superintendents, whatever, most of those job candidates or those jobs are seeking candidates with degrees in engineering, public administration, and so on. Now, like I said a while ago, you got water license, sewer license, code license. It really is, if you think about it, it's astounding to think that there is no pavement-specific degree or credentials for people that are managing the most expensive asset in the city, county or DOT. So what I want to talk to you about today is an employee development opportunity. Most of you, like I said a while ago, you have well-trained, qualified, motivated staff, but there just hasn't been a path for them to get a degree. Think of it like this. Would you hire somebody to specifically manage the public's water supply? And the answer is no. If they didn't have a water license or some official training. Same thing, would you hire someone to do code enforcement that wasn't a licensed code officer? I certainly hope not. And it goes on and on. Same thing with fire and all the other professions. So you have to ask yourself, why not? Well, the answer is simple. It's because until now, there's never been an accredited degree for pavement management professionals. So what happened is Front Range Community College in Colorado, they developed just such a degree. And I know this because I recently graduated. It's doable, it's affordable, and it's actually, I wouldn't say simple, but it's easier to do than you think, and it makes sense. You know, like all associate's degrees, students applying for this degree, they have to take at least 15 general credit hours. Some of your staff may already have some community college credit, can transfer. But, you know, you're going to have things like math, English, communication, computer technology, government, all the typical classes that go along with any other associate's degree. Then what Front Range did to make this degree a management degree, they required 18 management credits for things in like human resources, supervision, management, corporate ethics, social responsibility, project management, things like that. Then to make it a pavement specific degree, they have a 101 class that you'll have to take. And then beyond that, they have their highway courses are in safety, traffic control, asset management, preservation, methods, leadership, and then there's a capstone at the end. A lot of those courses, Front Range created what's called a crosswalk. So a lot of your staff already has official training in this at other places. It could be LTAP or whatever. So what they've done is come up with a way to translate that into college credit so that you're not having to retake a lot of these classes. My guess is a lot of you have people that could teach these classes. So, and then finally, they also, like any other degree, you have to have 12 elective credits. And a lot of those, again, with the crosswalks, the method that Front Range developed, you can transfer. A lot of you I know are sending your staff to FEMA, NIMS. So if they have the ICS 100, 200, 700, 800, that can be crosswalked for up to 6 college credits. We all know how hard it's gotten. It's almost impossible these days, it seems, to get a CDL. That can crosswalk. Heavy equipment practicum. I know your guys, a lot of you guys are doing backhoe rodeos and things. So, and then if you're doing something specialty in-house, Front Range has a process where they'll, you know, you submit it, they'll look at it. If it meets their academic standards, they could work out a crosswalk for that as well. So, and for me, you know, to get this degree, students can receive somewhere in the area of 27 credits for crosswalks or PLA, prior learning assessment. And the 3 ways are, the first one's by exam or testing out. A lot of you have heard of that. Most colleges have that. You can test out of a class. Then another method is by submitting a portfolio. And that's what I did for all my crosswalks or PLA. I submitted portfolios, and those are subject to academic review. Once they review it, if they accept it, then it applies to that particular class for credit. And then thirdly, by transcription. So if you're going to FEMA, OSHA, NHI, LTAP, APWA, a lot of these, all these institutions are keeping your transcripts. So you simply reach out to them, have them send your transcripts to Front Range, do a little bit of paperwork, and you get credit for those classes. All these steps, what it does, it takes the amount of time to graduate, it cuts it almost in half, the cost almost in half. And again, your staff's not sitting for classes that they probably could teach in most cases. That's how I did it. You know, I applied at Front Range, I applied online, registered online, took all my classes online via D2L. If any of you have taken online classes, you know what D2L is, desire to learn. You know, took 2 classes a semester, and while I was taking those 2 classes, all along the way, I'm submitting portfolios for PLA credit. And it just made the process, I graduated in 18 months with a fully accredited associate's degree. So, you know, in conclusion, I just want to say, you know, it's my sincere hope that more and more public works, street department employees, DOT employees, people that manage pavement take advantage of this opportunity. Not just this one, but APWA has a terrific Certified Public Works Professional certification program, all kinds of things, infrastructure inspector, stormwater. You add that with the Front Range degree, your staff is going to be qualified to promote up. They're going to have credibility. This quality education and training, it applies directly to pavement management. It's applicable and it's affordable. So the last thing I'd like to say is as a dearly departed friend of mine named Gene Coleman, we all called him Captain Patch, once said, "A rising tide lifts all boats, and it looks like we're going to need a bigger boat." Thank you.